One of Africa, the spiritual warrior. Everybody just a sweet talk, but they don't like to conquer. They like to chop, and they don't want to walk. If you like making minimize, or you like to maximize, I like to analyze. If you like make you compromise, so most of the walk up, I put the chop. Life is no balance at all. All fingers are not equal. Life in no balance. Oh yeah, make we check and balance. As we jolly they dance, many people they for plans. This life in no balance. With the hustle they find balance. Some people sit down for house, they walk on to the yana pata. Oh no, some seafood chop. Oh no, many no seafood chop. Oh no, some day for the top. Oh no, many people they for street they talk. Most they walk up and put the chop. Life is no balance at all. All fingers are not equal. Most they walk up and put the chop. Life is no balance at all. All fingers are not equal.
So, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Azezoke speaking to us after a couple of days break. This life, as they say by the Odudu Bariba, one of Africa, said this life, no balance at all. This life, no balance at all, for balance. So, as usual, before I start, I will say good evening once more, everyone. Where are you watching me from? Remember, this is a community where we come together, we analyze, look at issues dispassionately, and we try to make sense out of the senselessness happening within and around us. So, we have really a lot to do today. Really, when I say a lot, we do have a lot to do today. But before we get quickly today, I'm going to try and see as much as possible how quickly we can do that. I would want to, have you tell me where you are watching me from. And when you also do that, do me a favor, click on the bell, click on the subscribe button, subscribe to this platform quickly, just do that, subscribe, and click on the like button. I can see how many we are now, but many of us haven't clicked on that like button. So we will quickly start. To start, I will say that it is now official that Anambra State, my own home state, has officially joined this oil producing state that will be receiving 13% derivation. And after that, we will see how Pastor Tunde Bakare knocks past Apostle Suleiman, who went to America and did fake miracle. I'm not going to use his video because according to Soma Aku, another YouTuber, she said that whenever you use her video, you use his video, he will come after you and try to take your video down. Therefore, many of you, if you want to know what I'm talking about, even if it's your pastor, go online, go to YouTube, go to Google, and just type in Apostle Suleiman's miracle, fake alert miracle. You know what it means? Somebody said, Urobuskata, Ramba, Ramba, Shemba, Rombo, Rombo, Kawasaki, Yamaha, bra, bra, bra. Say, check your account. Now, and people are saying, oh, Pastor, I got $3,800. Pastor, pastor. Now, in all this madness that happened in that church, and when I watched the video, I said, I never knew that blacks could be this stupid. And when people just watch that, I'm like, Holy Spirit transferred money to you. How? Man. From which account? And who debited and who credited? But again, that's a story for another day. We will look into that. Then we will look into a sad incident. Jos has been attacked over and over. Now, many of us are calling for the governor Lalong to be impeached. Of what use is he a governor of a state and his people are dying? And he appears not to, and he's been accused of many things. Yeah, personally, I have said Lalong should resign or be impeached. The same way I said that Okezie Ikpeazu of Abia State should either resign or be impeached because of Aba, because Aba has become the dirtiest city, if not in Nigeria, maybe Africa as a whole. When it rains, deaths everywhere. And I wonder, how do people of Aba even help in, bringing the mess to their place? We'll also go ahead and look at governors to begin the anti-grazing law in their states, and that is something that's going to happen tomorrow. We would also look at the death of Victor Uwaifo, may his soul rest in peace, who died at the age of 80, a very masterfully skilled man who did a lot for humanity. Many of you will know him, many of you might know him as the man who sang Jeromio do mi do Hadimada sa Jeromi Jomi Jo, isn't it? So he is, he's no longer here with us. He's late. And but before I quickly dive into the meat, I want you to watch this. This is, I promised Odudubariba I'm going to use this on my show. So this is Charlie Boy's new video that is coming out next month. So watch out for this. This is the mid. I think many of you will know this music already by the tune because I use it. Watch just a couple of seconds, then we quickly start.
Spiritual warrior. Everybody but one of Africa. We'll find See, I never did go down. I never did run down. See, I never did go down. I never did run down.
So you see, Odudubariba is that. He is the Odudubariba of Africa. Again, when we say Odudubariba, I know many of you from R&D Zog will be thinking, is it our own Odudubariba? You know who Odudubariba is? Odudubariba in R&D Zog is a type of masquerade made popular by the Pericoma, whom also was referred to Odudubariba by the type of masquerade with Agu and a little bit pregnantish looking masquerade, But here we are. Part of the reason I insisted I'm going to do this stream together is to get us ready for tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow is the D-Day. Tomorrow is the day that the Southern governors told us they were going to ban finito the issues that concerns open grazing. So the question is, are they all going to live up to their expectation? However, I am saddened that people who spoke to this Delta State Assembly on Friday, because obviously, like I told us, a lot of conversation is going behind the scene. And rather than the Delta State, I can tell you free of charge by tomorrow, Delta State is not going to have any anti-open grazing bill. What did they do? The whole Delta State Assembly, as we speak, are in the United Kingdom. They said they came for a training. Then I asked and I screamed, what manner of freaking training have they gone to the United Kingdom to do? Where their people are not yet protected by law. At least do the needful. There is one you can do, there is one you can pray for, you can leave God to do, and all the rest. But you haven't done the needful that you ought to do. In that case, I say,
Moten in Nigeria Bachao, waiting it happening, he never understanding me. People, my house it a ban. Somebody it don't go pa London ni. If Buhari it come back from London ni, somebody from there basket. Wait, if it come, my people it go die. It go live me. Oh, data it go for London ni. Damboroba sege moten in Nigeria Bachao.
so that is it, my people. Obviously, that's it. Now, may we take some of your shout out before we start? Invite your yard people, but on the yard, don't know, say it here. Papa been on your dot. Yeah. Good evening. He says, Maz says, okay, good evening. I've been waiting for. I'm sorry, you can, many of you have to wait. It's been very busy, to do these things. You got to look for the materials, your evidence. Like I said, this is a platform that is evidence based, not fake news. Sorry, I do not, we don't play on people's emotion. It's evidence. You might like it, you might dislike it. Sorry, if you don't like it, you go. Here, we are proudly dotted.
Somebody they call me, he say it be that in the circle. That in the circle. Kai, that in the circle.
That's what I am. That in the circle. And I say proudly so. I am one. We are also going to look at the Iboho's Boys that's been released. It has been a battle with the DSS. All this is going to happen today. Go grab yourself tea or coffee, whatever it is that you drink. Grab yourself something. Today I'm drinking. It's not Friday hangout, so I'm drinking tea. So, before some of you think that I am drinking on duty. So, Mazi, good evening. That is Ari Nze. Gospel music Okoye. Wow, what a name. So I'd agree to. Okay. So thank you everyone. Let's quickly. Let's first, let me show you what I mean here. That Anambra State is actually is officially now, like I said before, amongst the states that now will start receiving, this, and this is, this is the letter. Let me see if I can expand it a little bit. Nah, it might not work. Okay, so but quickly let me do the following, see if it's gonna work better. Okay, so it doesn't matter. I would endeavor to read it for you. So what it means and what it says here. So this is from the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, and that was a letter dated the 24th of August 2020. 2021. I will endeavor to see if I will bring in the Commissioner of Information, Anambra State, and let's have a conversation on this. Now, the letter read: request for due share of revenue accruing to the nation from oil and gas production activity in Anambra State. Now, Ndi Anambra, pay attention here. For the first time, if you hear the name of your community, raise your hand. I will see you from your bedroom. So these are the communities where we have these oil wells. And there was this community near Ihiala before, in the conversation I had with the Commissioner of Information Anambra State, the Don, Adanuba, and who said, when I confronted him with a video shared online where we already see oil spillage happening in Anambra, and where also it was confirmed that there was an illegal activity of oil mining happening in Anambra State. So these are things they promised they will look into. I want to know whenever I get him to come on upon this platform once more to see if they have done the needful. Now, the letter reads, I wish to refer your letter dated 24th March 2021 on the above subject and to inform you that the Commission is at its 135 plenary session held on the 27th of July approved the attribution of the following oil well to Anambra State. Nzam 1 oil well. Alo 1 oil well. Obu 1 oil well. Ameshi 1, 2, 3, and 4 oil wells. Enye 1, 2, 3, and 4 oil wells. So if you're from Anambra and you're watching me, maybe you never knew that your state had any form of oil well. Maybe it is time that you and I now would pay more attention, and it might be more clearer to us why the upcoming election might be deadly, because there is now more reason why the party at the center may want to have access to that. Obviously, any oil producing state is an interested state for many of them, basically. So, having said that, now the letter concludes by 2 says, furthermore, the Commission also approved the attribution of Anambra River 1, 2, 3 oil wells on a 50-50 basis. Reason is because this particular oil well in Anambra, it's still under dispute with Kogi State, hence the 50-50 split between Anambra and Kogi, pending the final delineation of the boundary between the two states. Accordingly, Anambra State will start to benefit from the 13% derivation fund as soon as proceeds from the operation in the above named oil well start contributing revenues into the federation account. So again, this is what we got, and I said I'm going to share it with you because you guys are so, the family here is what we call one big family. Having said that, people, once more, if you're joining me late, I'm still Mazes, okay, and this is my evening conversation with you. Today we are looking at Anambra State, and we are going to now move over to Pastor Tunde Bakare and how he knocked, like this, what we call conking. When we are growing up, if they want to slap you, first of all, look at your mom's hand, whether it's like this or it's like this, because if it's like this, you know how to bend. Because if like this, if he jam you somewhere, now you go one corner, go park. But if it's like this, some of this like this is better than slippers. But the one you will never allow your mom to, come near you is to, that slippers made of wood. They call it skull. That one, I call it Obunigwe, because sometimes when you even do some commit what, as children, you commit, and when you want to run, you'll be running and you'll be looking, because that one can follow you. You can even go after you. In fact, that one is spiritual, because if they throw it with unmissable accuracy, what you are running is, which part of your body would that one get? Is it your head or your back? If it is your buttocks, it's not painful. If it is your back, it's also not painful. But if it is your head, it can actually knock you out. So people, that is it. On that note, I would say, man, if I bring my brother now, he can tell you that those things are maybe even in the past participle. But,
you will be a past participant. Yeah. Hey! One day we go here. Say yesterday you are a past. So very soon you shall be past. Party. One day, say tickle. May I have say tickle. One nana so you are ne woody. On a meko.
So you are now a past participle. Me, I'm a past party president. I cannot be past party takeover. So we move to the next item, which is Bastotunde Bakare knocking, as I said before, the one that calls himself. I mean, many of you, it might be your pastor, but sorry, I don't care. It could be your pastor, but I think some of you need your brains checked. If someone in this day and age could be telling you that he can do from Yahoo miracle and credit alert will come into your phone, man, check yourself.
May I appeal to you that any success that does not involve labor, run from it.
Exactly. True?
You're going to find out that shortcuts are not short in the long run. Hush puppy. There's so many hush puppies on the pulpit. They do credit alert by angels. Do you understand me? They will end up the same way hush puppy has ended. There's no shortcut. Shortcuts are not short in the long run. God rained manna from heaven, not so. It was a supernatural provision, not so. Was labor involved? Yes. The people had to gather the labor and they had to operate by guiding principles and rules. When they didn't obey, the bread worms and the stout, the strong among them, were eventually slain while the food was in their mouth. How about the birds of the air, Stephanie? They don't sow, they don't reap, they don't gather into bands. Is labor involved? Yes. They had to get out of their thank you. I didn't say that bad word. They had to get out of their nests to go pick the food and to bring it into their nest to eat. Why? God does not take the food and go to their nest and put it in their mouth. Labor is involved. He who shall not walk, be careful of credit alert by angels. The day that happens, God becomes a counterfeiter and angels become thieves. Because they will have to steal it to put it in your account. Your currency is not in heaven. So if anybody tells you credit alert by angels, miracle money is a liar from the pit of hell. Angels don't transfer money to anybody's account because God is not a counterfeiter and they are not thieves.
So I hope many of you now have understood that, and I hope many of you know what he's saying. In this case, he's clearly referring to Apostle Suleiman, who went to America. In fact, I don't know. Listen, it's one of those things I believe that you are being, they are trying to use your brain. You are being used. And they get people to come and give this false testimony. Oh, pastor. And sometimes many of them they can't even say pastor. They just say pastor, pastor. Look at my account. Look at my account. They paid in $3,600. Oh, glory, glory. I'm like, I'll send somebody from Onitsha now, because if I do send that person, it is going to tell you is Jesus is rod. Because oh my rod, oh my rod, oh my rod. Our brains and our Charlie boy would always say our mumu never do. How can we allow ourselves to be deceived in this manner like kids? Anyway, that is on the territory of those and in the altar of those who still believe in such madness. Because for me, it is entirely madness. That's what it is. Now, many of us who have seen the pictures of Abba, at the beginning I said, I've shown us this last week, the pictures of Abba, and this is Abba, the Japan of Africa that many of us growing up really admired. But today, this is how Abba looks like. Now, and I do not see many of us enough who are calling our South, our brothers out for a reason I do not know. Why is it that many are focusing only on the federal government without calling, it's just like you have planks of wood in your eyes, you haven't removed it, but you're much interested in only turning your attention to those in Abuja. Yes, Abuja has its own fair share of the blame, but personally, I think this is what concerns me more because this is criminal. This is something that should not happen. It's a simple solution of drainage. It's a clear case of sheer incompetence. Incompetence. If I can say that the one at the head is incompetent, then the one at the head here also is, in fact, he carries incompetent in the head. So we must speak up irrespective of whose ox is God. We must speak up irrespective of whose ox is God. Because, people, this is a disgrace, not only to the humanity, this is also a disgrace to the great Igbo nation. With this, you shouldn't have any voice to actually, speak to others if something like this is happening in your own neck of wood and many of you keep quiet. I found it so absurd. I found it so insulting that at this day and age, we could be tolerating something like this. In what manner? Anyway, that's a fair share of what is happening in Anambra. But let's quickly move to the federal side. Let's build up to this so we get to open grazing. But before we get to open grazing, let me quickly update us on the Ibohos people that were released. Obviously, today they are now, these guys are now free, and this is their lawyer making this address. Enjoy it.
On Friday, we had a press conference here where we gave the SSS 48 hours to release the detainees as ordered by the court. We are glad today that the SSS itself called us this morning, and they have shown seriousness about respecting court order. And so today they have been able to release 8 persons amongst the 12. You have their names are here for you to see. We are hoping that they will release the remaining 4 tomorrow or before the end of the week. Ordinarily, they should have released every single person detained as ordered by the court. But we have some technical legal issues that we think should be quickly resolved. And of course, we agree with them. At this time, we do not want to preempt that the SSS is trying to manipulate or trying to deviate from what the law says or what the court ordered.
Well, head or tail here is that these guys are eventually, all of them, they've been, not all of them, 8 of them, they are 12. And these guys, according to the lawyers, they are working so hard in order to get these guys out. So far, so good. So far, as of today, they have done fantastically well. And, these guys are now able to go back and join their family. Now, tomorrow is a very important day. Tomorrow is 1st of September 2021. Tomorrow, we are expecting the Southern governors to converge and update us as to where they are with the passage of the anti-open grazing laws. The chairman of the Southern Governors Forum, in the person of Governor SAN Aklodolu, today in Ondo State, signed that bill into law. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Bravo, bravo. He signed that bill into law. Clap for him. So he has joined other states that have had.
You say the thing.
But let us quickly, before we begin dissecting this deeper, look at various angles and various perspectives as to what is actually this is behind this conflict. Because whatever is behind this conflict is not far from headsmen. Headsmen moving by foot. Not, like every other place where people sell cow. It's just headsmen moving by foot. Let's listen to an interview granted by Autumn to Roots TV and see his own perspective.
Where Nigeria don't get into, I think it's even worse than Afghanistan. And it be like say the government where they on top, they also be part of the thing where they happen to us because they know they talk. And I keep saying, look, if government show say it get power to stop Igboho and stop Nnamdi Kanu, why government no get power to stop bandits where they say they kill us here? Exactly. And they don't come and go talk say if now this government bring them in 2015. Say make them come help them do election. After election, they don't abandon them. So then they look for money where they will chop and continue with their life. Our current leaders wait there for Asarok for presidency. They get hand into it. We get problem for Nigeria. And as long as our people keep quiet, I tell you, say one day they say this unknown government will be Fulani bandits. They go come take over villa. They go come take over government house. They go come take over every place. Bow and arrow, not be offense for our constitution. But AK-47, AK-49, and machine gun and all those ones are things. But the thing where would they ask? They say iPod. They were using pump action. They go catch them. Those one too. Government no say make them do them. But they go catch them. But why is the thing they say Fulani men they use AK-47, they use AK-49, they use machine gun, they use explosives, and they no fit catch them. Then see allow them. Then they go kidnap our children. Then they go kidnap our people. Then they go do all kind of atrocity. But they leave them. I don't talk to Mr. President say make he declare these people as he did to iPod. Say they be terrorists. The man no grade do. President too, he carry the same oath of office. Say he go defend all Nigerian people. But the thing where president they do now, they defend only Fulani people. They are just killing us. As I talk to you, they continue to kill us. And president know where these people dey. They go say they are unknown government. One day there will be unknown president and unknown governor. Unknown minister, unknown this is where the country they go. And Fulani people don't talk, say, look, they want they won't carry this country, make it become their own. Make them call and say, they Fulani too. Now then get Nigeria. But he can brand iPod, say they be terrorists. He can stop Igboho from the southwest. Why he not do the same thing where they do? Now my evidence be that. The president is part of the thing. They do the thing. He sabi the thing. Why president they only give appointment to Fulani people? People will be prominent household. They don't tell me say, look, my brother, this is way they do. You're fighting for us too. What did they go invite them to do? When Gumi talk, did they invite him? When other people will talk, did they invite them? It is the thing don't they clear say this government. It no mean well for this country. If you accept to be their slave, even me, if I accept that I will be their slave, they will give me appointment. They give my people appointment. The press handler or Mr. President, the man a lie they talk now. I think that him they will give him name saying a lie Muhammad, make it a lie waka anyhow. You not see the thing where the man talk. He say they don't give him 6 billion. The governor there don't deny say he don't get any 6 billion. So that man. I suspect say he dey on something where we no sabi.
This one's with me. Oga Autumn, DSS, please take note. No be me dey talk. Now Oga Autumn for Benue State. They talk say Bila say the man they take where we know Sabi. But Ogotam, if you tell us what in demand they take. Me, I don't know what in demand they take. All I know is that if I leave Burukutu, if I leave Kunu outside, if I no put them inside fridge, if it come ferment, if I drink them, it go they do me somehow. Now all I don't know the other one. I don't know the other one where the man they take. Ogotam, as they talk am for Uwaifo, you say he knock am for head. The thing where you talk, they say nice talk, no get anything to be anything to be added to it. Now so it be. Now so it talk am. Now so it be. Now let me quickly then go back and get us
into our first discussion now. Following moves by the federal authorities to recover 368 grazing sites in 25 states, the September 1 deadline.
Now, before I do, as Autumn was talking, Autumn talked about why he thinks the president is not acting accordingly the way he should. Or what happened? Can you guys still hear me? What happened on YouTube? You already understand BTC. Sorry, people. What happened on YouTube? Were everyone on YouTube, were you kicked out? Oh, honestly, I don't know what happened on YouTube. Something is not right. YouTube suddenly has zero. YouTube suddenly has 0 watchers. What's happening, people? Okay. People, what happened? This is strange. We are hitting 200. Suddenly, everyone on YouTube disappeared. Okay. So let's come back again, people. I don't know. Once more, you're still watching Mazes, okay, here. This is, my conversation this evening. I hope those on YouTube will come back. I do not know what happened, but something strange happened. I hope this is not coming from where I'm thinking. How can close to 200 people just disappear in 1 second? Come on. This is unbelievable. This is not possible. Something happened. Kenrad Namdim says YouTube is not working. What do you mean YouTube is not working? So what happened? You see, people, it appears some people are getting a little bit agitated, as in when truth is said. If not, what on earth was that happened? Everybody on YouTube disappeared. So please, if you're on YouTube, come back, please. I've never had such happen on a live stream. Okay. OJ Wing says it is working now. Okay. It is okay. We are back on. Okay. So thank you everyone for coming back. Something definitely happened on YouTube. But let's continue. It doesn't matter anyway.
Set by southern governors to begin the anti-grazing law in their states is just hours away. Now, in May, the 17 southern governors appealed to all states in the region to ensure that the anti-open grazing law is put in place. They recommended that the federal government support states that are willing to develop alternative and modern livestock management systems. Bayelsa, Rivers, Oyo, Ekiti, and Abia states have already given legal backing to this decision, and some other states are still in various stages of complying. How will all of this pan out when enforcement begins? These are some of the questions that we are going to ask. But certainly we have in the studio to discuss this Professor of Strategy and Development, Professor Anthony Killer. He's here to help us make sense of all of this. Thank you very much for joining us on the program this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Now, the issue of open grazing in Nigeria in recent times has become a little more controversial when it comes to the approach to it and the understanding of it. The president, from the reports that we got, is disposed to, rejuvenating some of the old grazing routes and grazing sites.
Now, but, if you're just opposing this with what Governor Autumn said, ask yourself, why is it that suddenly the president is more interested? You see, I wish the president has taken this manner of action against those that maim, kill people in Jos, in Taraba, all these places across the nation. I wish he had taken this manner of interest, but somehow he has raised a committee, he has put up machineries in place for the reactivation of the grazing routes. Jos, Plateau State, the government house in Plateau, I am told, is sitting on a grazing route. So what are you going to do? Uproot the Plateau State government house or what? How can people be going back in the archaic time?
But governors are saying we are in the 21st century where we can't live the way we lived in 1950s and 60s and all of that. But what do you think is making this open grazing thing so controversial right now?
Well, I think, there's issues that are gray sometimes. This is a clear issue of white and black, and there's no other way to say it. It must be said clearly that the president is wrong in his approach.
Wow.
His view is analog, and his mindset on this specific issue is not a productive
One would
one.
see it as just issues of perspectives.
Well, you see, we say that not all perspectives are equal perspectives. Some perspectives are blatantly wrong. This is an example of that. The idea of open grazing in 2021 is something that does not resonate with common sense, economic sense, and security need. It has no place at all. It has been demonstrated time and time that the regions of the world that are profiting from animal rearing, that are producing animals in tons in large quantities and making profit, are not doing open grazing. Open grazing is what nature gives you, but civilization, science, and knowledge tells us that the way is ranching, because that way you're able to control them. It's better for the environment, it's more profitable for the people as well. That is the objective economic sense. In the Nigerian case, there's also a situation where open grazing is linked with insecurity, is linked with trespassing of property, is linked with scarcity of land and water, is linked with so many things that makes total case against it. I think holding it is just a kind of traditional, at best, traditional position, at best, inability to be dynamic on more than an issue. And to this point, the governors who are against it are very right, and therein goes the politics. It's not perspective. What we're dealing with is a matter of federalism here. And it must be said that it is true that all the 17 governors of the southern state have taken a position against open grazing. But even in the north, there are governors who are saying they're not open grazing and they want to do ranching. Sokoto.
Exactly. Like the governors of Sokoto, like the governors of Kano have said that open grazing is a cake. Yet, the president appears to have, well, somebody told me, let me not say, but the president appears not to hear what the people are saying. Okay. On that note, people, I'm still Mazes. Okay, please, if you're new to this platform, I don't know what happened on YouTube, but YouTube is back on. It's been, it's somewhat everyone on YouTube were just basically kicked out, but YouTube is back. Kindly subscribe to this platform, like this stream, just make the button turn blue, exit the comment section, just click the like button, please, so we continue. OJ Winks, I hear what you said, that we, fix their time, but normally my time of coming online is normally 7 o'clock. Sometimes I do late night shows. But for other engagements, sometimes you can overshoot that, like today, coming after 9 or thereabout. Obviously, I would try as much as possible and endeavor to make it 7 o'clock, but not daily, at least 3-4 times a week. One thing that is very clear, and the one that is certain, is our Friday hangout and Saturday street parliament. On that note, people, let's continue and hear what these gentlemen has to tell us.
State comes to my mind, but I think also the governor of Katsina State. There are more than one governor.
They've raised their voices on this, and even the government of Benue State has even gone ahead to put the laws, the anti-grazing
law in place. Laws. So I think those at the federal government are acting more central than government, and they're wrong. You see, if they were arrogating themselves power that they shouldn't have in a federal system, and that goes to the issue of federalism here, to do the right thing, they might even get sympathy vote. But in this case, they're arrogating them power that they don't have to themselves, power that they do not have, should not have, to do the wrong thing. So it's a lose-lose situation for everybody.
The southern governors coming together in unison.
Yes.
A lot of people see it as more of the issue of regional politics.
No, sorry. It's not more of the issue of regional politics, my brother, my dear good brother. It is more of protecting yourself and surviving and not allowing someone to yank off your head.
Than the issue of agriculture or the issue of security.
Yes, that might be true. I mean, with politicians, everything is possible. But we as citizens, we should look at the issues that allow them. Let us assume, let's just make, a very sort of Machiavellian case. Let us assume that the governors are using this thing, they're exploiting it to do regional politics. Then take it away from them. You see, if there was no issue of security, they will not have any excuse to be doing this. So, as citizens, we should not follow the intent of politicians. We should focus on the issues they're bringing to the table. The issue they're bringing to the table is issue of insecurity and issue of federalism. And yes, they are using it because all of a sudden they went there to declare that they want the presidency as well. That is because they're politicians. They want power. They always want partisan thing. But we as citizens should not look at that. We should focus on the insecurity and the federalism they're talking about. And we should note those who are for modernization and those who are against it. And those who keep quiet. Because very soon in this country, we should soon be asking ourselves, where were you? What did you say when this issue was on the burner? And I think it's time for citizens to start taking note of such things.
I recall that.
And that's where I will leave it here, because I perfectly agree with him that it is time citizens will begin to take deep note. Exactly. Those who didn't push enough to secure your life and property, punish them next time. Do not, if at all there's going to be any election, punish them severely. If any of your governor, but again, sometimes our mumu is factory-fitted. These people in the state assemblies that are not able to pass these bills and leave it, because by today being the last day of August, what I've been expecting to see is that in every state of the 17 southern states, that as of today, all the bills will be either signed or on the table of the governor to sign. But as long as that is not the case, these individuals, what it means, they do not take you any serious. They do not care for your protection. They do not, your life, the life of your parents, your mom, your siblings do not matter to them. The life of your community does not matter to them. That's what it means. It's as simple as that. I mean, there is no gainsaying in that. Therefore, for me, it means we must keep tab at the local level. If we don't, we lost every single moral right to take the federal government to task, because those that ought to do this, because the battle line is strong, it means do this or you don't do anything. The law, those that come in at night with cattle and do whatever they know how to do best, that would continue. Even in the same line of argument, there is also these video where you can see clearly as well, clearly, that someone is saying this is not acceptable. This issue of open grazing is actually madness. It shouldn't happen, but it is happening. And we are the people actually that can stop it from happening. And how do we do that? By insisting that those we have ceded our powers to, that they must stop this from happening. It's as simple as that. Whether they like it or not, open grazing should be stopped. Listen to this, just very briefly, before we move into JAWS. Listen to this briefly. After that, we'll move into JAWS. I'll pre-warn us. For many of us, what we are going to discuss in JAWS might be a little bit terrifying to some of us, but it has to be said. It has to be said, to be honest. Oh, what's happening? The video is not playing. Let me try again. Sorry. So it means no to open grazing. That's what it means. If it doesn't play now, I'm going to do it a different way. Hold on, where is it? Okay. If it doesn't play, let me do that quickly a different way, because I think it's let me share this screen, I think. Sorry about the delay, but sometimes the technology doesn't want to play the way you want it to. So listen to this then.
There are no more grazing routes. There are no more grazing routes. So for him to even... believe that they still have grazing routes in their heads. No. Most of the grazing routes are not there again. Some of them, you see schools. There are schools there. Some of them, you see hospitals. There are highways, even government houses. Government houses. I know that the government house in Jos is on a grazing route. It's built on a grazing route because the availability, because of increase in population.
So now the government house in Jos Plateau State is on a grazing route. So what do? If you go on with these archaic one linear way of thinking drive, if you go on with this drive to ensure that you implement grazing route, a particular line of business done by it's mind-boggling. Imagine where you want, because Igbos are probably everywhere selling spare parts in all the state capital in Nigeria. Then you want, because of Igbos, and you implement a particular policy. That is pure madness. Sorry, but honestly, sometimes I think about it and I can only say that words actually fail me as to, for lack of words. Honestly, I do not know how to address it. I do not know even kind of find the right word to believe that this is actually happening in Nigeria in the year 2021. Tell me, those that say that there is no hidden or premeditated agenda, so how do you convince someone that if something like this is being driven with this level of, in this way, how do you then convince someone that there is no premeditated something you want to achieve? How do you do that? Because the whole, whereas everything that you are looking at is pointing at something, that there is something you are doing in order to achieve a particular aim. Now, as you can see here, we are in just last week. Anyway, in the last 3 weeks, it has been an orgy of killings, senseless killings of children, of adults, of the aged. In one of the lists I was sent this morning, one of them broke me. And you see a child of 4 years, the other one, a man of 110 years, 110. He was killed because he was vulnerable and he was killed. It's unbelievable. Let's watch.
This report may be disturbing.
Wails of pain, grief and anger from women over the loss of loved ones and their property following an attack on villages in Basa, Plateau State. Communities in Basa, Riom, Jos North, Jos South, and Bariki-Ladi local government areas have come under severe attacks by suspected militia groups and bandits in August, leading to several deaths and the destruction of properties and farmlands. Many are rendered homeless. Some abandoned their homes as a result of the attacks.
The situation was very, very bad, to the extent that everybody had to run for his life. My house was totally razed down. 2 people has been killed, born beyond recognition. We don't really know. We thought we had people to assist us, the security, but very unfortunate. I think they did their best, but it's like to overpower them. Because in the evening, the thing has been happening in other areas across Iquichito. So later on, we hear that they are coming there on the other side. So towards 8 o'clock, so they started burning our houses around Pachudu, even Zamra here, and some certain areas. So from there, we have no other option. They now advise us we should find a place for security.
They came, raised down houses in one of the villages close to the village that they ran havoc the night of Saturday. So this is what has happened. Where they burnt the houses, nobody was killed. But we discovered some 2 corpses close to that area where they ran the havoc of the previous night. As I'm speaking now, the statistic as to the houses that were raised to the roof, there are more than 25. And because some of the houses were burnt inside and it didn't affect the roof. So they're not taking the statistics. Put together, we're not getting less than 50 houses around there. In addition to the houses that they burnt the previous days, which put together, we are getting almost 150 or 75 houses to that number. In addition to the ones that we lost in the axis. So we cannot have less than 50 people dead as it is, because we are still recovering corpses in the bushes. So we cannot ascertain the real figure until probably we search all the nook and cranny of that environment. We'll be able to tell you this is the figure that we have lost of human lives.
Amidst these attacks, emergency meetings are convened by the Plateau State Security Council towards finding an immediate solution to them.
The highlight of the meeting is we have a marching order now. We have men on ground coping with the situation. We have a marching order now to move out and get the situation under control in the next 2 days. And this is a sound of warning to everybody that has that are perpetrating this act. The reprisal that came did not warrant the level of destruction we are witnessing now. The leaders will be arrested. There are records of leaders that are on bail from government temporarily.
It's only when it comes to spokesperson that's when we see people from Southeast or Ndibo. Edward Ebuka, Commissioner of Police, Plateau State. Now, honestly, I don't get it. Sometimes I just think about this. I don't get it. These people, are they ghosts that they cannot be apprehended? Or is it that when you apprehend them, they are let go? I don't get it. Jeez. Honestly, I'm somewhat speechless.
And some of them have been fingered in these present attacks. Nobody will be spared. Human life is sacrosanct. Nobody can take it at will. There is a government on ground and it will not be accepted. That's the assurance we want to give from this meeting.
One of the worst of the recent attacks takes place in the morning of Saturday, August the 14th, along Mukuba Road in Jos North local government area of Plateau State. At least 25 people are killed and over 20 injured after an attack on a convoy of buses. The victims were attacked while traveling from Bauchi through Jos to Ikare in Ondo State. To avoid a further breakdown of law and order and to enable security agencies to effectively handle the situation, the Plateau State government imposes a 24-hour curfew in Basa, just north and parts of the state capital. Major streets...
Yeah, but that didn't help. Even at that, the people still got killed. They still attacked, even when you had curfew. So what's the essence of the curfew? Why? How come they broke all the security distance and still went ahead and attacked communities? I don't get it.
Certain as economic activities come to a halt in compliance with the order.
Early in the morning, there were some skirmishes here and there in some, far-flung areas of the town. We recorded some deaths. At last count 7. But the situation had been taken care of, and the normalcy had returned. We are moving out this night to comb every look and cranny of these 2 local government areas. And like I said earlier, it's advisable that the curfew is complied with so that people are not mistaken for hoodlums and miscreants that want to create problems. Most of these hoodlums just want to take opportunity to loot. That's all. They just want to do it. This is not the first time that happened. So we don't want to name any particular person. Because miscreants.
Following the killings of travelers on Rukuba Road, the University of Jos suspends semester examinations and allows students to vacate their hostels. However, the attack escalates to the university community, leaving at least 4 students dead and many missing.
Now tell me how as a father, a mother, an uncle, some of your words are in school and all you hear is that idiots that can barely clean themselves up have just gone into schools and lives are lost, and that's it. Nobody is going to be held accountable. Jeez.
The environment is scary. Our students are not happy. Our students are even dying. So this thing, daily, every day, we must have case of students dying, students hurt, students missing. Now we are talking like
In part of the students now marauding in the night
Now, students will leave the reason why they came to school and start doing watchmen at night in order to stay alive. And you tell me you still have a country, right?
To avoid further violence, a security team is deployed to secure the students while they leave the university premises. During a press conference, the students' union leadership recalls the number of casualties recorded while the attack lasted and called on the relevant authorities to provide adequate security for the university.
On Sunday, 15th August, in what is being associated with the 14th August incident, many of our students and unarmed students were again attacked and killed in the most brutal fashion, and many declared missing. We recount with great pains the gory pictures of Doris Bitrus Dangoe, a student of the Department of Religion and Philosophy, Faculty of Art, was shared with a laceration occasioned by a knife deeply buried into her thorax. She was murdered in the most brutal fashion around Bauchi Junction on Sunday morning, 15th August, on her way to church. A medical student was stabbed and macheted just at the gate of Narakuta Hostel.
Now, I don't know if this one is cult activity now or it has to still do with the crisis. It's confusing. You see what the reason why I keep saying why people can make these insinuations regarding what is happening is very simple. As long as the state that has the coercive powers fails in bringing anyone who kills, who injures, anyone who commits crime, as long as the state fails in its fundamental and basic duties of bringing them to justice in a transparent, open, and speedy manner, this nonsense will continue. Someone going to a church, do you go to church by 3 p.m. at 3 a.m.? No. Apparently, going to church, it means that individuals going to church during the day or early in the morning, and that person loses their life. To now, there is no single individual that could be held accountable. No one is likely going to be punished. Jeez.
Studies was found after some days of search. Mathen Ezekiel, a student of the Department of Economics Education, is still missing to this hour. A 400-level student of Geology Department by name Moses Joyce Tsaku, who was also declared missing, was found at the intensive care unit of Brigham University Teaching Hospital in a very bad condition with machete cuts all around her body. We pray that she survives. Premise on the aforementioned, we hereby demand justice and respite as follows. Once again, we appeal to the government to, as a matter of responsibility, mount security check unit around NNPC junction of Bauchi Road, Sukwa junction of Ring Road, Bauchi junction between Narakuta Village and Idemo Injaga, popularly known as Bunga. The government should, as a matter of urgency, employ the same apparatus and mechanism they use in apprehending 20 suspects of the 14th August incident to arrest and bring to justice the killers of our students.
Accompanied by a convoy of heads of security agencies in the state, Governor Simon Lalong tours areas where violence was reported to see the extent of damage and at the same time to ensure compliance with the curfew. After the tour, Governor Lalong addresses journalists for the first time after the Jos North attack.
Today we've gone on an assessment and we have seen. First, on behalf of the government, I still stand to condemn these acts. These are clear acts of...
There is no reason why this governor should not be impeached. Honestly. There is no reason. I can hear Oyanimo saying that the governors do not control, they are not in charge of security, and these things cannot be. Now, Oyanimo, you tell me if the same thing happens in River State and we will hear that governors do not control security. If not for anything, I have not seen the governor, the way he talks. Sorry, but he comes across as someone who I don't know. For me, he doesn't appear to show enough concern aside dealing with the superficial things that he's obviously doing. He's not calling anyone out. He just say, he's just making a normal speech. And so what? And so what? What are you going to do? You have the commissioner of police in your state. I mean, what are you guys doing? You can go if the state apparatchik is not working, you do a paramilitary, anything you have to do to protect your people. It is your job. That's why you sworn oath to do. That's what you sworn oath to do, for Christ's sake, for crying out loud.
But when they are doing it, it takes a different dimension. And so the purpose is to take us back into religious crisis. But by God's grace, we are on top of it.
By God's grace, my God. Du bist ein verfluchter Scheiße. God's grace. Listen, God has given you, by virtue of winning the election, either you are elected or selected, I don't bloody care, by virtue of being the freaking governor of that state, take charge. My God, take charge.
We don't allow religious crisis in this state. We have done a lot. We have already moved people everywhere. And thank God, the federal government has also moved in a team from the IG's office, heavily led by a DIG, with more policemen mobilization. And that is what we want to do. Because ours is when it happens, we go into the field to manipulate in the board. We don't want it to escalate too much. So we sympathize with those who lost their relations. We sympathize with those who lost their properties. And we want to assure people of Plateau State that, as usual, we will not allow this to go on.
Join me tomorrow or next on my program. I'm still trying to get the speaker House of Assembly in Jos. I spoke to him briefly today. He said he was going into a meeting. I want him to come here. We need to understand what is happening, because these are human beings dying on a daily basis. It's unacceptable. Again, people, anything that affects one affects all, because those dying are human beings like you and I. It could be you, it could be me. We must endeavor to speak up for them. We must endeavor to speak up. For me, the state assembly should do the needful. If the president is failing on doing the needful on security, on securing life and property, and the federal house doesn't want to impeach him, that's their freaking business. But I think it's time the states, the state assembly in Plateau also begin to look at yanking off this guy that I think it's adding virtually no value in solving the crisis. I can read some of the comments. Some of you say that they made him the chairman of the Northern Governors Forum in order to hold him down. Yeah, if Kachi says he doesn't care, if he doesn't care, that's fine. Those who are in the state assembly should also not care in doing the needful, because if the lives of their people means anything to them, they must do the needful. Even if it means that it rattles him, let's see. But at least someone should be man enough to actually demand that he resigns. Because incompetence makes me sick. really makes me sick. Really, really makes me sick. And here he is, and so what? Come on. These are people, dying people, people. These are human lives. This could be you. Look at students gone to school, and we are here. Jeez. It's really sick, people. It's sick. This is unbelievable. Anyway, let's move away from Joss and let's pay tribute to the legend who died, and that legend is no other person than Victor Uwaifo. He died, and he died sometime. Was it last? Yeah, 2 days ago, I think. Sir Victor Uwaifo died 2 days ago. So again, I say, may his soul rest in peace. He was an epitome of many things. He was a genius. He was a music maestro. You know, indeed a man that could, I personally think I could play many instruments, but in as much as I do play many musical instruments, but I've never. That guy is he is on a different level. I do not come anywhere near. That's obviously obviously the reason why I'm not a musician, because I only play for fun. But let's pay tribute to whom tribute is due. So let's quickly, obviously, bring the Arise team in to help us do that.
Joining us now is Kachi Ophia, who is now going to cut the flow of the program with stories trending around the world. Hello, Kachi.
Good morning, Dr. Batty. Good morning, Trending. Good morning, Mumbai. Good morning, viewers. Let's take a look at what is trending today. Now, in a sad story, some may call it sad, others may call it a celebration of life. Music maestro, sculptor, and philosopher Professor Victor Uwaifo has passed on at the age of 80. Now, he passed on the 28th of August 2021. The music icon whose tracks Jeremy and Guitar Boy were hits till his demise was a multi-instrumentalist, a great lyricist, a melody maker, and a renowned virtual artist. Now, while tributes continue to pour in, a saxophonist Olu Jazz has released a jazz-inspired rendition of one of his greatest hits, Jeremy. Let's take a look at that. Sir Victor Uwaifo, he actually said he saw a mermaid and that they do exist. But he gave us a lot. He gave us his talent, he gave us his intellect, and he also...
So, do you believe? Okay, I watched one of Sir Victor Uwaifo, one of the rare men I also admire. I know. There are great musicians I admire a lot, like Victor Uwaifo is one of them. The legend himself, Mike Ejaga, is one of them. Another legend again, Sonny Ade. Oh, great man. Ebenezer Obey. And, Osito Sadebe, whom I played with. Not many of you know that. I'm telling you now. I did play with him in 1994. Yeah? Yeah, 1994. Is it 94? No, 96. 1996. Yeah. So, obviously I do appreciate great people when, it's basically given inspiration, because I think he did a lot while he was alive.
As a commissioner for tourism, didn't he, and culture. So he lived a long, rich life. and he'll never be forgotten with his spinning guitar.
So do you actually believe that there is Mami Water? Let me ask that question. Can we get the comment section busy? While you're doing that, please endeavor to. Now we are clocking 200 across our, people watching, and only 27 people say like the video. Please, can we do that, please? Just take that moment, get off the comment section, just click on like the video, please, like this stream. And while you have done that, subscribe to this platform if you haven't. Do you, for 1 second, believe there is something called Mami Water? Or are people referring to sea dogs? Are they referring to sea dogs, sea mammals? Or is it mermaid when they have like a beautiful woman, they have the tail like a, fish thingy, I personally do not believe in in such. But do you think I'm wrong that I do not believe in such and anything like Mami Water? You tell me at the comment section.
The stage presence, great man.
Well, no amount of tribute can be too much for Sir Victor Uwaifo, who died recently at the age of 80. And I think it...
Papa Obinonye says there is Mami Water. So have you seen one? How do you explain to us? We are waiting to hear your feedback.
Look at the various tributes, you see that the praise has been most deserving. He's the most deserving of the praise. As you speak, the Copyright Society of Nigeria, led by Chief Tony Okoroji, is flying the mast in front of that building at half-mast, the recognition of the extinction of Sir Victor Uwaifo, the first artist in Nigeria to be appointed a commissioner for arts and culture, the first Nigerian artist to win the Golden Gong. He won that in 1965 with the same song, Jerome, which and it was just about 24 or so about that time. And also the first Nigerian artist to be awarded.
Hold on. I think Eluka is making sense here. Eluka says, if there is Mami Water, there must be Papi Water. If not, that's it's pure feminist to say there is Mami Water. So Mami Water doesn't have husband, and Mami Water doesn't have she lives alone in the other room. So what is the equivalent? What is, if Mami Water is the woman, what is the equivalent of the other room oga, the aga at the top? So what's the equivalent of that one? So I think you Victor Eloka, you made a very great point. If there is Mami Water, obviously I agree, there must be Papi Water. There must be even baby water. Even Papa Obinonye dot that says there is Mami Water, and you are Papa somebody, isn't it? Papa Obinna. Okay, so where is the Fafa? Where is the Fafa of the Mami Water? Kaidam Boroba. This one, it make myself, this one, if I read your comment, I do like this.
Our economic is doing like this. It's doing like this. It's blinking, shaking. So, even not because of this strong.
I do like this. I blinking, I shaking, I blinking, I shaking. I'm not saying that you saying that there is Mami Water, but I want you to convince us how that Mami Water will look. But I think Victor has this knockout argument. I mean, it's brilliant. But Victor, I don't want you to call my Papa Obinonye daughter. I don't want you to call him.
When my 7-year-old grandson called me and said, "Grandpa, tell me the truth. Why did they call you Liar Mohammed?"
So this is Fafi Water.
Okay, they're telling me now, going Mami Water ni. But what he never, for even 300 years, he don't go everywhere. He don't go Amaya. He don't go Amakegwe. He don't go Egun Sket. He don't go Bayasa Sket. It don't go Anisa. It don't go Anugu. You know, for Anugu, you get in one place, they call me for Nike. You go another one, if they go for Banua, if they call me for Anseka. If they go Anugu, if they go Amaya, if they go everywhere. You never see me for Mami Watani. If they go Mami Watani, where if they get me for Pape Iwata. Mami Wata, if they go for the other room, what if they do alone? If he waiting for water, he never come inside this the other room. Tight, mutani. Papi water, he never do. Mami water, he inside the water for too long. He feel cold. If he feel cold, he think what he think. Mami water, he feel me for cold. Waiting papi water, where he dey?
So people,
when my 7-year-old grandson called me and said, Grandpa, tell me the truth. Why did they call you Liar Mohammed?
The national honor of the member of the Order of the Niger and the first high-life musician in Nigeria to obtain a PhD. He got a diploma from the Yaba College of Technology at the age of 22. But at the age of 54, he got a Bachelor of Arts degree. At the age of 56, he got a Master of Arts degree.
Sorry, Ruben Abati, holy dear. I'm enjoying myself because Papa Vinonyedot says, when we dey swim for a cool river near Oyemene, just at the back of this Akane airport, we did encounter one Mami water while swimming. The thing they look. Some of you, your imagination can run wide. You see, in Macbeth, they say, is the eye of a child that fears the painted devil. It could be, I granted, there could be some species of fish. Like I said, if you've seen like sea dogs, I think the Germans say Seehunde or whatever. It looks, the tail actually looks like that. The way they dive, they even have like mustache. Maybe they have Fafi water. They have that big this thing. So it might be what you saw. Then you say at the. I tell you, this one reached to do willy wallahi. This one reached to do willy
on the hour from Niger Delta Broadcasting Service.
Really reached to do
My name is Andrew Uweri Okere Ajapasa.
Don't you willy yourself?
Yes, on the hour.
Anyway,
from
people, I just had a good laugh now.
And apply that. And at the age of 60, he got a PhD, specializing in architectural sculpture. He was a very versatile man. He was a multi-instrumentalist, a lyricist, an architect, in fact, and also an author. He also wrote, and he owned a gallery. He had a television station, and he ended up as an academician. So he represents a great example for younger artists, and also, let us say, he was a legend of the Benin Kingdom, a major contribution from Edo, from Benin, to the international community. And he was well acknowledged for his dexterity, for his accomplishments, and he remained active till the very last moment. For those of us who are from the artistic community, we remember him also for the legacy that he has left behind in many of the songs that he did, including Mami Water, Jurumi, Guitar Boy, and then there's one called I'm a do Tundo. You don't want me to tell you how we converted that do as rascally young men in those days.
I actually do. Thank you, Dr. Baby.
But real quickly, okay, I get we have to move to the next story. I can't get a chance to say anything about it. But I wanted to say, my personal experience, I met him personally once. A great man. I had a lot to say, but we need to move to the next story. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, real quick, a video of two women rough handling a police officer.
Now, obviously, with in paying tribute, he turned 80. Again, to the family, I say, may his soul rest in peace. No one, irrespective of the age you lost your mom or your dad, it will be very painful. But 80, considering Nigeria and where the life expectancy age, one wouldn't say he died too young. Again, I say my condolences to the people of Benin, the ancient Benin kingdom, and the Uwaifo family. May his gentle and talented soul rest in perfect peace. Amen. Now, the next story, which is going to be the concluding part of this evening conversation and broadcast, is the story of the Nigerian police. When Idris Abukade sang Nigeria Jaga Jaga, everything scatter scatter. This is example of the Jaga Jaga-ness of this system.
After he allegedly assaulted them with his gun, is currently making the rounds on social media. Now, these two women can be seen with injuries on their body. One woman has an injury in her arm, and the other is profusely bleeding from her mouth. Take a look at that.
That's a police officer. In fact, he's shooting a woman. The train is back. See me. Police officer. Wait the number. Wait the number.
Now, this is completely disgusting to see.
Okay. I'm just going to come to you first.
No, you go ahead, because you didn't get to comment.
Oh, okay. I mean, when I saw that video, what kept on popping in my head is that police is your friend. And this is how they show it every time.
Mm-hmm.
And only to think a lot of people went out there, protested about NSAS, and we're still saying things like this happen. It shouldn't happen in the first place. Never. The police officer has no right to assault women. I'm not saying it's any better for the woman to pull the...
No, okay, Rafai here. I agree with you, but the police officer has no right to assault anyone. Man, woman, in between, anyone. They have absolute no right. And the issue of dragging the shirt, I mean, if you're bleeding profusely in that manner, sorry, but I do not blame the woman for even holding him. If you're bleeding, if a police officer slapped you or smacked you or hit you with a gun or anything, and you're bleeding in that way, he's even lucky that the woman didn't go for the organadike, because imagine the woman in anger just bent down in between his two legs and just took a bite. What would have happened? Huh?
The police officer drag him and engage in a fisticuff, but he's got no rights. And we see them every time. And that's why, please, we'll call on the Police Service Commission to look at this case critically. Please, I'm sure they can identify the face of that police officer. I'm sure there are no unknown police officers in this country. Identify his face. You should call him and call both parties and investigate. And they shall have the necessary disciplinary action. But the police shouldn't be like this in Nigeria. This is a bad representation of the police force.
I completely agree. It's extremely disturbing. And I just can't begin to imagine what that video did not portray, how he must have really assaulted those women, two women. I don't even understand what kind of circumstances could have led to him having to hit them, much less injure them. And the one who is really bleeding is extremely disturbing. He just needs to be sanctioned for this. This is a disgrace to the uniform.
Well, very quickly, some people have been sending text messages. They say they want it mentioned that Sir Victor Uwaifo was a product of St. Gregory's in Lagos. Yeah. I mean, he also attended Western Boys High School in Benin. But very quickly on this, I think, yes, the point has been made. The incident should be investigated. But those ladies, the two ladies involved, whatever may have been the provocation, I think they also took a risk. We have had many cases of trigger-happy policemen summarily executing people in Nigeria. Whatever may be the provocation, I hope that the police authorities will have a system in place whereby people who have this kind of ugly encounter with policemen on the roads can come and lodge a complaint, and that steps will be taken to investigate the concerns of agri persons. Because look, this policeman, if he had taken an overdose of cannabis, as is often the case, could have taken his gun and gunned them down. And then that's what we will have been talking about. It's unfortunate that we have this kind of conflict between security agents and Nigerians, be they women or men, young or old. But thank you very much, Kachi. I understand we've run out of time.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Anyway, so once more, again, I condemn this on behalf of Njenje Media as well. I said that this was senseless, this was needless, and I do hope that the authorities, why these things on the trending news do come up, and why we also pick this news to talk about them, is to also help sensitize and deepen the conversation and let people know that something like this happened, and with the hope that the appropriate authorities will take action. Now, there is this video we shared last week that talked about President, from Uche Onyagwacha, the former SSG to Imo State, that is to Imo, the former governor of Imo State, in the person of Emeka Ihedioha. Many of you were requesting for the full video to be uploaded. Now, today we have uploaded that full video. So you can go to Njenje Media TV now here on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, you need to head over to Njenje Media TV and watch the full video, all the things which Onyagwacha said. For those of you who haven't, if you haven't heard the video in question, I think it is a must watch for anyone who loves truth, anyone who thinks that, not everyone is cowed in Nigeria per se, that there are still men, there are still, people who actually speak up when issues matter. And this was done, this is the video in question here. So the full video now is about 13 minutes plus, and that is being uploaded on Njenje Media. So I'm not going to play the whole video, but for those of you who do not understand the video I'm talking about, and this is this video here, have a listen. I think this is from here. He will say the, well, even from the beginning, because he started by saying that Buhari does not understand issues as relates to open grazing. Have a listen before we close.
The Land Use Act is superior to whatever you have had in the past because it's part of the Constitution. Every land in any state now belongs to the governor. Mr. President, you can't give out any. Autumn has a right to decide who gets any land however he wants. And if he says he won't give anyone for ranching, sir, so be it. And there's nothing anybody can do about it.
Bagam.
Punishable at all times. So
no, this
act of treason, which is still punishable because Buhari must apologize for the military coup of 31st December 1983. In fact, that coup of 1983 was an act of treason, which is still punishable because a criminal offense is punishable at all times. So it is not proper that somebody who has already committed treason before all Nigerians by overthrowing a popularly elected, democratically elected government is turning around to go and harass Nnamdi Kanu and is trying to charge them for treason. So you abduct him from Kenya, you want to try him for treason when you committed your own here in Abuja, in Lagos. So the truth is that we must have to deal with this. Babangida must apologize.
Anyway, for again, to watch the full video, go head to Njenje Media TV and you will see the full video there. And on that note, I will say join me tomorrow if time permits, if the speaker, if this Plateau State speaker agrees for this conversation, I would have that conversation with him. And I am demanding nothing less than for them to get their acts together and impeach the governor. And I wish the same for Abia State, if they can impeach Okezie Bazo for gross failure in Aba, because Aba is a mess. Over the last 2-3 years, I've been saying the same thing. I've been calling for him to be impeached. Nothing personal. But again, sometimes I don't even, sometimes I blame ourselves. He didn't do these things in the last 4 years when in his first tenure. Yet, because we are a people that reinforces failure, we brought him back. When he reigns in Aba, I hope some of you have seen that video of Aba when he reigns. That women, honestly, I think that's the one that really make me so speechless. That when you see women submerging themselves up to their waist in a stinking, very dirty bacteria, virus infested water. And I'm watching that. I'm thinking, freaking hell. So these people tell me why they wouldn't go home with viral, bacterial, or anything called infection. Tell me why they would not have them. Tell me why. Yet, people of Aba, I said it the other time. Some words, Imo State is trying so hard to compete with Aba, to come up to Aba's, Abia State level. I said it, and I'm saying it again. For some sad reasons, Abia State has been blessed with bad leaders. It's paradox. Abia State has been blessed with bad leaders. And the video is less than 1 minute. Let me quickly bring it in here for us to understand why I think there is no way I will say this and I will keep quiet. If I ever keep quiet on something like this because it happens in the Southeast, then I have no moral right. I have absolutely no moral right to say anything in Plateau or talk against the federal government and their ill and all the madness that they do. I have absolute no moral right. Now watch this thing. And you tell me how. Now tell me, these women, look at the level of this dirty water. Look at the level. Tell me a reason why somebody walking like this, even the men, all their private parties soaked in this, in Jesus Christ. Listen, imagining it alone, it's unimaginable. And he told me reason why people will just, and this is where people pay taxes apparently. And someone was trying to defend, yeah, Mazi, you're hating Abia State. I said, listen, I stayed in Abia State is like my third home. Abia State, especially Umahia, is like my third home. So I can't hate what I like. It's just like me hating Enugu. How? A place I feel at home, a place my Enugu is my London, as long as Nigeria is concerned. So anything that happens that I don't speak up, you know that one is not being truthful to himself. So if I must criticize the federal government for their failures, I must also do the same at home. And this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. No wonder people have korokoro. You know, when we when we were in Onitsha then, this is a korokoro Domingo Waski. They say Okoti Junction. How can you, after going on this street, you cannot have Okoti Junction? Tell me. The only thing people can do, go to your bathroom, unscrew your bathtub, your jacuzzi, whatever. Use it at canoe. Rather than walk like this, just unscrew your bath, you know, your bath and carry it. That becomes plug off the waste, the waste pipe. Take it there. Use it as your canoe. Row your boat, rolling down the dirty Aba stream. Shame, 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 shame no dey catch Aba. Row your boat, roll it down the Aba stream. Shame, 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 shame no dey catch Abia governor. I'll be waiting. People on that note, I say, wallahi, this one passed me. People, even at that, I would say, I am not happiness more with this. I would rather
hour from Niger Delta Broadcasting Service. My name is Andrew Uweri Okere Ajapasa. Yesterday, some angry Warri Jaguda boys carried dangerous weapons like a cutlass, iron pole. I went down to the Borikoko oil facility. When they reached there, the security people vanished into the bush like Willy Willy.
So you see, if I look this one finish, why not go? Why tell me any reason why I should not vanish like Willy Willy? Because by only looking at it, my eyes already.
Our economic is doing like this. It's doing like this. It's blinking, shaking, blinking, shaking.
By doing that alone, on that note, I say, Wallahi, I'm out of here. People, I say good night, everybody. Good night.